back to Andersen Acres. We're here inside again with Tequila. Vodka's taking a nap, and Whiskey's here too. He's just really not doing anything, which is not abnormal for Whiskey. He's a lazy golden doodle. What can I say? Anyway, today we are going to talk about the third step of Leave It. And then from here, you just keep practicing over and over and over again until you get it down pat. So we have done the hold it in your hand, not allowing them to take it when they relax. Yes, give them the snack. We have done the sitting on the floor, covering it with your hand, and when they relax, letting go and saying yes. Today we're going to do this from a standing position. Use a high value treat. These are salmon, so she really likes these because they're fish and she loves fish. So we're going to use a high value treat. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to drop it on the floor and say leave it. And we're going to use our foot to block if we need to. Okay, usually you'll have to block the first few times until she gets the idea. But you're going to stay standing up. You're not going to jump down there and try to get the treat. You're just going to use your foot to block. And you're going to say leave it. When they try to take the food, and they will, put your foot to block the food. Say no. And then leave it. And then you kind of count to 3. And when they're not trying to get it for 3 seconds, you say leave it again and move your foot. And you keep doing that, keep using your foot until you can remove your foot and have your foot away from the treat for 3 seconds. Okay, so let's give it a shot. She will go for the treat. Expect your dog to go for the treat the first few times. Leave it. No. Leave it. No. She can't lick it either. Leave it. Yes! And then we got to give one to Whiskey because he just showed up. Okay, so we're going to try it again. They do figure this out pretty quick, so it shouldn't take too many repetitions. Decent sized treat, something high value that they really care about. She's eating some of the crumbs. Drop. Leave it. I'm not having to block. Well, don't choke on the previous treat. Yes! And one for Whiskey. And we'll do it one more time. See, she's picked it up real fast because we've been working on the other 2 steps. If you start with this step cold, it's going to take a lot of repetition. So usually you'll have to block with your foot 2-3 times, then they pick it up really fast. So we're going to make sure she's done eating that treat. She's licked up all the crumbs. Then we're going to let her see this one. Leave it. Yes. See, she's not even going for it now, and he gets one for existing. Whiskey gets credit for existing, okay? So what you're going to do is you're just going to repeat this cycle. You're going to extend the amount of time before they're allowed to have the treat. So you'll go from 3 seconds to 5 seconds, 5 seconds to 10 seconds, until you can say leave it and they don't necessarily get it at all. So we'll do it one more time. Leave it. And now I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to sit here and wait. I'm not using my foot to block or anything like that. The treat is there. And I'm just going to wait. And she's doing incredibly well for... I haven't practiced this off camera, by the way. We've only been doing steps 1 and 2. So she's really good at this now. Yes! And give her the treat. Here's the other half of it fell on the ground for Whiskey. It did snap in half when I dropped it. So Whiskey gets a piece, Tequila gets a piece. And that's really all there is to leave it. The real trick is to keep practicing each step until you master each step. If you just try this step and you haven't done any of the background work with using your hand and blocking with your hand previously, then what's going to happen is she's going to go for the treat every time because she won't have any background. So Vodka's not in here because he's asleep. So do this with all of your dogs, and remember, it's kind of an age-appropriate thing. So Vodka's only 3.5 months old right now. That's a little young to learn leave it effectively because they're kind of in that lazy, excited / nonsense puppy phase. So Some of the stuff you're going to teach a little puppy may be kind of beyond them at certain times just because they don't have the impulse control that an older dog has. Remember, she is almost 7 months now. Okay, so she's quite a bit older. So she is able to get these tricks a little bit faster. So sometimes Vodka in our videos is a little more relaxed or he's not really engaged. It's his age, and right now he's asleep. Because he's a puppy, and puppies need more sleep than she does. Even though she's still technically a puppy, she's a much older puppy. 7 months is a much older puppy, though still a pup. So that is literally how you teach leave it. Keep practicing. Eventually, you can drop a treat on the floor. I'll do between the two dogs. I've got one there, one there. Leave it. And I can literally walk out of frame. Leave it. Leave it. So I'm actually pretty Tequila, no. So remember, she's not done this before. Leave it. I'm actually getting pretty far away now. I actually can't go any further without climbing out the window. And she is figuring it out. You will have to correct here and there because she's new to this. Your dog is new to this too. But the whole goal is to be able to get away from the treat, have her leave it. And now we're just waiting. He doesn't care either. So we're just sitting here and she's waiting for me. Tequila. Yes. Yes, you can have the snack. She's waiting for me to give it to her. And Whiskey would like the snack as well. Here you go, buddy. He's like, I didn't touch it either. So literally, it's just repetition. So there I had to correct because she was going for it. But I didn't have to touch her. I just had to correct from a distance. Right? And she was able to do it, even though she did lick the treat. You're not supposed to lick it. No. So you just keep practicing. Keep practicing because leave it is a vitally important skill. If your dog is going after a mouse, a dead mouse, or trying to chase a chicken, or whatever they're doing that you don't want them to do, this is really the way to do it. And if you're wondering why we're not outside today, it's pouring rain. So we're just here in the house. We don't like the rain. So keep practicing with your dog. They will pick leave it up, and eventually you will be able to drop a treat on the floor, say leave it, leave the room, come back, and the treat will be there. But don't expect that to happen right away. You want to make sure that they have the foundation for that. So I walked across the room and Tequila had a hard time. She did it, but she had a hard time because it was the first time I had been really farther away than this when we're practicing leave it. So she did really, really well. It's important that you don't expect more of your dog than they're able to give you at that moment, because if you don't build the foundation, they can't do it. So now she eventually, when we keep practicing, and she and I will obviously be practicing, and I'll be practicing with Vodka, and Whiskey already knows these, but eventually I will be able to yell leave it across the field. I'll also be able to yell Tequila, leave it, and she will leave whatever it is that has got her attention. She will walk away. But until we have that kind of ability, I'm not going to push her beyond what she can do. Build slowly, practice a lot, practice every day a little bit, and slowly increase the time and increase the distance between you and the treat. And how long does she have to wait? Hopefully forever eventually. Eventually she should be able to walk away and leave that treat untouched. But don't expect results overnight. They are livestock guardians. Livestock guardians take a little more patience. And sometimes they don't listen. That's just the way it is. Livestock guardians are that way. So thanks for joining us here at Andersen Acres. Keep working with your dog. They will catch those skills that they need. And hopefully your livestock guardians are as delightful as ours are. We'll see you tomorrow.